How are you guys doing? Today is Friday, October 8th, 2021. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review the Elite matchups and performances that took place yesterday on Thursday, October 7th. And of course, without further ado, I'm going to preview everything that's going on with sports today as we navigate through the world of sports one day at a time. Taking a snapshot of where we are, the Wnba is in its playoffs as well as baseball. Football has already gotten started, has been started for about a month and a half. And then, of course, the NBA is right around the corner as the NHL season has already started. The NBA is in its preseason right now. So with that said, I'm going to take that time to first get a chance to look at what's going on with the WNBA. The WNBA there's 3 teams remaining in the WNBA that are competing for the championship. After the Chicago Sky have already advanced, the last remaining series is the last game before the WNBA finals is game 5 of the WNBA semifinals as the 2-seed Las Vegas Aces host the Phoenix Mercury. Looking how this matchup has gone, I guess the Aces were able to win game 4 to even the series back up at 2, and now they get home court advantage. Either winner here will get home court advantage in the WNBA finals because the Chicago Sky were the 6th seed. But right now, that is how it's looking, as there are still 3 teams left competing for the title. Taking a look at what's going on with the MLB, where there are currently 8 teams competing for the title. Looking at the very first matchups of the American League Division Series, starting off in Tampa, the 1st seed Tampa Bay Rays hosted the wild card seed, the Boston Red Sox. The Rays were able to completely shut the Red Sox out and win the game 5-0 to get the first win of the playoffs of this series. The Red Sox, even though they finished with no runs, had 9 hits on the day. No one was just able to cross the plate. The loss for the Boston Red Sox went to their starting pitcher, Eduardo Rodriguez. Eduardo Rodriguez allowed 2 earned runs in 1.2 innings. He would strike out 1 batter before getting pulled in the 2nd inning. With his loss, he's 0-1. In the Red Sox batting lineup, their designated hitter, Kyle Schwarber, went 2 for 4. And their all-star designated hitter, Kyle Schwarber. And then their all-star shortstop, Xander Bogaerts, would go 2 for 4. Additionally, their second baseman, Christian Arroyo, would go 2 for 3. For the American League regular season champs, Tampa Bay Rays, the win would go to their starting pitcher, Shane McClanahan. Shane McClanahan allowed no earned runs and 5 hits in 5 innings. He would strike out 3 batters on the day. And then in the Rays batting lineup, their elite left fielder, Randy Arozarena, would go 1 for 2 with an RBI and 3 runs. He would hit a home run, and he would also go on to steal home plate to score a run. The Rays' elite shortstop, Wander Franco, would go 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run. Additionally, their elite designated hitter, Nelson Cruz, would go 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run as he hit his first home run of the playoffs. With this win, the Tampa Bay Rays now hold a 1-0 series lead over the Red Sox as they are 2 wins away from clinching a spot into the American League Championship Series. Looking at the other end of the American League playoff picture, the 2nd seed Houston Astros, who won the American League West, hosted the AL Central champion Chicago White Sox. The Astros would end up beating the White Sox 6-1 as they scored all 6 of their runs between the 2nd and 5th inning. The White Sox would score their only run in the 8th, but the Astros had full control of this game from the beginning to the end. The start and loss for Chicago were given to Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn allowed 5 of the 6 runs in 3.2 innings. He would strike out before getting pulled in the 4th inning. With this loss, Lance Lynn is 0-1. In the White Sox batting lineup, their elite designated hitter, the reigning American League MVP, Jose Abreu, would go 2 for 4 with an RBI, and their center fielder, Luis Robert, would go 2 for 3. For the Houston Astros, the win would go to Lance McCullers Jr., their starting pitcher. He allowed no earned runs and 4 hits in 6.2 innings pitched. He would strike out 4 batters before getting pulled in the 7th inning, and with this win, of course, he's 1-0 in the playoffs. In the Astros batting lineup, their left fielder, Michael Brantley, would go 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Their designated hitter, Yordan Alvarez, would go 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs as he hit the Astros' only home run of the game. Their shortstop, Carlos Correa, would go 2 for 3. And then their center fielder, Jake Myers, would go 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run. With this win, the AL West champs, Houston Astros, now take a 1-0 series lead over the AL Central champs, Chicago White Sox. And, of course, the winner of this matchup will face off against the winner of the Rays and the Red Sox, but these series have just gotten started. Taking a look at what's going on today in the MLB, starting from the very top. At 2:07 on MLB Network, it'll be Game 2 of the AL Division Series as the American League West champs, Houston Astros, are going to host the third seed AL Central champ Chicago White Sox. The Astros come into this matchup with a 1-0 series lead. For the White Sox, Lucas Giolito is going to take the mound, and Framber Valdez is going to take the mound for the Houston Astros. At 4:37 on TBS, the National League Central champs, Milwaukee Brewers, are going to host the National League East champs, Atlanta Braves, as Charlie Morton will take the mound for the Atlanta Braves. The Brewers will be led by their all-star starting pitcher, Corbin Burns. This is Game 1 after the Dodgers were able to beat the Cardinals a couple of days ago. So, of course, both of the National League games are going to be right there. The third game on the lineup today is at 7:02 on FS1 as the American League East champs, Tampa Bay Rays, hosted the wild card champs, the Boston Red Sox. This game will be on FS1. For the Red Sox, their elite starting pitcher, Chris Sale, will take the mound, and Shane Baz is going to take the mound for the Tampa Bay Rays. A win for Tampa Bay would move them one win closer to the AL Championship Series, and one win for the Red Sox would, of course, even the series. And then last but not least, at 9:37, it will be Game 1 of the highly anticipated National League Division Series on TBS between the two teams in baseball that finished with at least 106 wins. The Dodgers and the Giants finished with the best two records in the MLB this season, but since they were in the same division, the Giants went on to win the division, and the Dodgers would have to go to the wild card, and after beating the Cardinals off of a walk-off home run in the 9th inning, the Dodgers are ready to take on the Giants. The Dodgers still are the defending champs until they get knocked off. For the LA Dodgers, the start is going to go to their elite starting pitcher, Walker Buehler, and Logan Webb is going to start for the San Francisco Giants. So that's what's going on in the MLB as the division series are getting underway. Taking a look at what's going on with football, starting with college, the only ranked matchup that took place yesterday took place at Arkansas State, as the unranked Arkansas State Red Wolves hosted the 15th ranked Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. In this matchup, the Chanticleers would score double-digit points in every single quarter to outscore the Arkansas Red Wolves and win this game 52-20. They outscored Arkansas State 24-0 in the first half, and they outscored them 28-20 in the second. For the 15th seed Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, their starting quarterback Grayson McCall would throw for 365 yards and 4 touchdowns. He also ran for 10 yards, so that's 375 total yards of offense. The Coastal Carolina Chanticleers leading rusher Shermari Jones would finish with 113 yards on 10 carries as he had a touchdown. He had 3 yards through the air, so that's 116 total yards of offense. Additionally, their second leading rusher, Bryce Carpenter, would finish with 82 yards on 5 carries as he had a touchdown. Also, Reese White had 81 yards on 6 carries as he had a touchdown as well. That's 3 rushing touchdowns for Coastal Carolina. On the receiving end, their leading receiver was Isaiah Likely. He had 232 yards on 8 receptions as he had all 4 receiving touchdowns on the day. On the defensive side of the ball, Silas Kelly would lead the team in tackles as he had 6. He and Jeffrey Gunter would finish with a sack and a half each. And then C.J. Brewer would finish with an interception to go along with his 2 tackles and his sack as well. With this win, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers are now sitting on top of the Sun Belt as they are 6-0 and they have a 2-0 record in the division. With this loss, unranked Arkansas State is 1-5 as they are 0-2 in the Sun Belt at the moment. Taking a look at what's going on today, there are going to be 2 ranked matchups taking place in terms of college football. At 7 o'clock on ESPN, the 5th ranked Cincinnati Bearcats are going to host the unranked Temple Owls. Temple comes into this matchup with a 3-2 record with a 1-0 record in the American Conference. And then at 10:30 on ESPN, the 22nd ranked Arizona State Sun Devils are going to host the unranked Sanford Cardinal. Sanford comes into this matchup with a 3-2 record, holding a 2-1 Pac-12 record after beating top 5 ranked Oregon last week. And then Arizona State's coming into this matchup with a 4-1 record, holding a 2-0 Pac-12 record, as of course many are looking forward to see if Stanford can knock off yet another ranked opponent. Taking a look at what's going on in the NFL, there was one Thursday night matchup, and the Seattle Seahawks hosted the LA Rams. The Rams would end up beating the Seahawks to pick up their 4th win of the season as they're getting off to a rolling start. For the Seattle Seahawks, their elite starting quarterback, Russell Wilson, would complete 11 of his 16 passes, throwing for 152 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. He would also run for 10 yards as he would end up getting benched for Geno Smith because I imagine he was dealing with some stuff. Russell Wilson would combine for 162 total yards of offense. Through the air, their leading receiver, DK Metcalf, their elite wide receiver, would finish with 98 yards on 5 receptions as he had both receiving touchdowns for Seattle. On the defensive side of the ball, they were led in tackles by Jordan Brooks, who had 11 of them on the day, and they only had 1 recorded sack from Darrell Taylor. Quandre Diggs would finish with an interception as well as his 5 tackles on the day. For the Los Angeles Rams, their starting quarterback, Matt Stafford, would throw for 365 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Their leading rusher, Darrell Henderson Jr., would finish with 82 yards on 17 carries as he had a touchdown. He also had a 17-yard reception, so that's 99 total yards of offense. The Rams' leading receiver was Robert Woods. He had 150 yards on 12 receptions. Cooper Kupp would finish with 92 yards on 7 receptions. On the defensive side of the ball, Sebastian Joseph Day would finish with 8 total tackles on the day. Their goated defensive tackle, Aaron Donald, would finish with the second most tackles on the team as he had 7 of them. He would finish with 1 of the Rams' 2 sacks. Additionally, the Rams would record 2 interceptions as Nick Scott and Troy Reeder would each get an interception of their own. Nick Scott had 5 tackles. Troy Reeder would end up with 3 on the day. With this win, the LA Rams are now 4-1. That is the second best record in the NFC West. And with this loss, the Seattle Seahawks are now 2-3. That is the worst record in the NFC West at this very moment. Taking a look at what's going on with the NFL following, the next matchups will take place on Sunday. So, of course, as we get to Sunday, I will preview those matchups as they get there. Taking a look at what's going on with football outside of the nation. I guess before I leave, the United States hosted Jamaica in a FIFA World Cup qualifying matchup and were able to pick up a 2-0 win as Pepe scored both of the U.S.'s goals. Mexico would draw with Canada as both of their goals came in the first half. Taking a look at what's going on with the South American clubs in their FIFA World Cup qualifying, Brazil was able to beat Venezuela 3-1 after Venezuela scored a goal in the first half. Brazil would score all 3 of their goals in the last 20 minutes to pick up this very big win. And then taking a look at what has been going on with the other UEFA Nations League semifinal matchup after Spain beat Italy a couple days ago. France was able to beat Belgium yesterday after Belgium held a 2-0 lead at halftime. Of course, Carrasco scored the first goal for Belgium, and then Romelu Lukaku, their elite striker, would of course put them up by 2 goals. In the second half for France, their first goal will come from their elite striker for Real Madrid, Karim Benzema, in the 62nd minute. They would score a penalty kick in the 69th minute from their elite forward that plays for PSG, Kylian Mbappe. And then, of course, in the 90th minute, it would be a goal from Theo Hernandez, brother of Lucas Hernandez, who plays for AC Milan, to give France the win, and they will advance, and they will play Spain in the UEFA Nation League final. Just taking a look at when that matchup is going to be. I'm not exactly sure as to when their matchup versus Spain is going to take place, but of course, many are looking forward to that UEFA Nations League final. But congratulations to France for, of course, getting there. Taking a look at what's going on with FIFA World Cup qualifying today as we are at the stage of international play. Starting with the African countries, the Ivory Coast is going to face off against Malawi at 9 o'clock. Egypt is going to face off against Liberia, as that's Mo Salah's team if of course he's playing. Angola's facing off against Gabon as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang looks to suit up. Looking at what's going on with the European clubs that are going to face off today, Germany is going to host Romania at 2:45. The Netherlands is going to Latvia to face off against them at 2:45 as well. And then Norway is going to face off against Turkey, as I believe Erling Haaland is still out. Not to mention Cyprus is hosting Croatia. So that's everything that's really going on with sports for today, Friday, October 8th, 2021. Once all of today's matchups are done, I will come back tomorrow with another episode. First, I want to thank the MLB, the WNBA, the NFL, college football, FIFA websites for giving me all the facts and figures that I needed in order to complete this episode. I do want to apologize for all the names that I butchered because I do plan on getting them right eventually. I just, if I haven't gotten it right, I just haven't heard the proper pronunciation enough times. And also with that said, I want to, like I said, thank everyone once again for listening to all 16 minutes of this piece. I hope all is well. And once all of today's matchups are done, I will come back with more episodes tomorrow for the Elite. And until then, thanks for listening. I hope all is well, and I'll catch you with more tomorrow. Peace out.